Hey guys, NL0. A little bit after dawn, sun's coming up over the hills. It'll be a nice day. Figured I'd give you getting the girls ready for school, and I wanted to just do a quick little coffee chat. Oh yeah, this coffee chat is sponsored by Frog Toad Coffee. Frog Toad Coffee keeps you moving and doesn't suck. There's my commercial for you, Toad. Like I said, I was getting the kids ready for school this morning, and my daughters are getting to that age to where they're having, female things happen. So, and I just want to kind of throw a reminder out there, especially to the men who are like me, maybe single fathers, or their wives are like mine, are handicapped and aren't really involved in the equation as far as what you have on hand for your preps. But keep in mind that, well, I keep in mind anyway, that if something happens and we are in a on our own type situation for an extended period of time, my daughters and my wife are still going to need, female stuff, for lack of a better term. They're still going to have, they're still going to menstruate. They're still going to have their periods. They're still going to have, potentially have some issues that females have quite a bit. And keep that in mind whenever you're prepping. As far as, well, I'll put it this way. I had a little bit of extra money a couple of months back from the auction, and I bought, some. Here I am standing in Walmart, and I've got, a whole bunch of maxi pads and 3 or 4 tubes of Vagisil and, a couple of tubes of Monistat and stuff like that. And I think I got some pretty weird looks. But the weird looks, don't mean anything when you realize that, this is potentially going to help your children deal with a very bad situation. And God forbid one of them gets an infection or something like that, and it could be extremely painful and uncomfortable for the girls. And having that extra stuff on hand, along with some antibiotics and stuff like that, is going to make a bad situation a little bit better. I mean, if we're in a situation like that, because there's a lot of things that are going on in the world right now. I mean, between the economy and the food prices and the potential new wars that are out there, there's quite a bit of things that could lead us to be on our own situation for an extended period of time. And so that's already going to be a bad situation. And then if you throw, yeast infections or not having what they need for sanitary purposes for their menstruation cycles and stuff like that, it's going to make it even worse on them. Because if we're in that kind of a position, we're going to be doing a lot of work. We're going to be, doing a lot more than what they normally do every day, as far as, tending the garden and canning and scavenging for resources, animal husbandry, all those kind of things. And that takes a lot of work, splitting wood, living without, thank God I've got these, the solar lights and the solar panels now, and the panel kit that I really want to add on to where I could, get those, a couple more panels that can, that could charge up a couple more batteries in a battery bank. That would make life, a lot more comfortable. But until then, if it was to happen right now today, a bad situation, then I still have, my children and my wife to think about, as far as making sure that they have what they need and it's as comfortable for them as possible, because it's already going to be a bad, stressful situation. And then to throw an added stress onto that is just going to be, it's just going to be a lot worse, especially when it could have all been avoided in the first place. This way now, if one of my girls comes down with a yeast infection, I can give them some medicine for that, and say, you know what, I stood in line at the store and got a whole bunch of looks from a whole bunch of people buying this stuff, but you know what, now it was totally worth it, and I don't care what the other people think, because my daughters are going to be taken care of. So I just wanted to throw this video out there real quick. That was sponsored by Frog Toad Coffee. Keeps you moving and doesn't suck. Anyway, mainly directed towards people like me who are single fathers, well, I'm not single, but my wife is, you know, extremely mentally handicapped now after her accident. So, single fathers, or even fathers in general, because I mean, if you have your daughters coming over, say, you know, unfortunately you have split with your wife and you're divorced or whatever, and you share custody with your children, and you have a daughter, make sure you have some preps for her set aside as well, because maybe she visits you on the weekends, or she visits her mother on the weekends, or however it's set up. But it could happen at any time. I mean, if say your daughter's with you on the weekend, and all of a sudden some big new war kicks off, or you know it happens like it did back in the you know, in '29 when the economy crashed. All of a sudden it was just all pretty much, you know, an overnight thing, and you decide to keep her with you. Make sure you have what you need for her. My children, fortunately, are past the little kid stage of, you know, needing the SpongeBob coloring books and stuff like that. And now we're moving into the next step of teen and preteen preps. And I would like to hear what the next generation has to say about this, because they are teen girls and they're the next generation, and I would like to hear what they have set aside for those kinds of preps. Because, like I say, I'm a man, and I'm not real good at being a little teenage girl. So if anybody has any other ideas out there, please feel free to let me know, because this is how, you know, this is how we get better at what we do. This is how we better prepare, and this is how we learn from each other. This is why we do videos. So like I say, I wanted to throw that out there real quick, and going to get after it. Like I say, next generation, you know, check them out. And I would also like to hear what you guys have to say about this particular subject. So, all right, guys, have a great day. Enjoy your coffee, and God bless. The end. Buzz, the end.